Hey, Pete. I'm aware the camera's not working on my face. I'm trying to get that thing to work. Give me a sec here. Might be able to get it to work, might not. This is a hit or a miss. I don't know why it does this. Okay. Hey, Clara. Clara, you did a really good job last night. I looked like actually, so I couldn't really see what you did that well on the camera because it was a little bit blurry. But then when you sent your picture, I was like, you know what? This is pretty good. Like for the first time trying to draw like that, I thought it was very good. I'm trying to get my camera fixed. Hey, Laura. Ciao, Laura. Media source. Capture. Add source. Have an Epic Cam that works. Do we? Add source. Epic. This isn't working. Why is that not working? Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this, see if this does anything. I need to get rid of all my display captures. Video capture. Take that away. Okay. Do I have another one? Laura, we are trying to okay, I'm going to take this away. Clear this up. Maybe it's just bugging out. I'm trying to get my cam up. The Day of the Dead. It's definitely an adjustment to learn, but I've been thinking about more, and this kind of process is exactly what I need in your art. And you know what? So my thing is I'm going to continue to help you with it, you know, past the class, obviously, but because my goal is to like really help you insofar as like in as much as you want to be helped with it. I want to do my best to help you to learn, like ingrain it in you, because it's something that requires a lot of thought, and at the same time I'm refining my the class process and all that stuff. Okay, let's try this. Add source, new, Epic Cam, add. Let's try this one. No. Done. Oh! Alright, you're gonna lose feed for a second. Give me a sec. I mean, we'll still be on briefly. It's just gonna blip out for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I think we're back. This is really annoying. I don't know why it does this. This is really pissing me off. I always have to put up with this, and there's literally no explanation for it. I wonder if there's something interfering with this. I'm going to try for one more second to get this stupid ass camera up, and then we're just going to start because it's not worth the wait. Got to sound capture. This. Space. Okay, you know what? Forget this. I'm tired of this. Sorry guys, I can't get the camera working today for no reason. This is getting old fast. Yeah, I am pissed because this thing keeps on doing this and I have no reason, like there's no reason to do that. There's literally no explanation. I cannot find one. But, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. Yuri, do a great job of giving everyone personalized feedback and attention to what they are drawing. No amount of YouTube videos can tell me what I'm specifically doing wrong. Yeah, it's I'm really trying. So the first day, thank you, Clara, by the way. The first day of that whole, you know, just everything in general, is always a lot. It's always a lot because there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to go over. And, you know, it's just how it is. You know, setting up and everything. It's just, you know, it's a lot of stuff you got to do. You know what? Hey, you know what is working? What is working is the web. Wait a second. Now I think it's working. Wait a second. Wait a second. Is it working? Now it's working. Now all it has to do is just come on my phone. Come on. Alright, let's try something here. I'm going to try something. This off. You might lose audio just for 1 second. Okay, y'all should be able to hear me now. So now that it's like the computer's picking it up, but now the app's not working. So forget that. Here's what we're going to do. Let's switch it to the webcam. I'm actually going to use the computer webcam, which will work. This will work. That's it. That's what we're going to use. So big. Oh, it's because it's like square. Okay, or it's just the shape of it. All right, so now what I'm going to do, let's see if we can get this properly adjusted here. So if I'm painting here like this, so this is where I am. There we go. That's okay. That's all right. Y'all don't care about this stuff, I'm sure. We'll just deal with this. Boy, I tell you, that's frustrating. It's just, it keeps on happening, and there's no explanation. It just bugs out. It just bugs out. So, I'll try to look into it. I just don't know. So anyway, give me a sec. Okay, I buffered just now. All right, we're gonna get started and we're gonna work on the skull a little bit. Work on the skull. That is our goal. We work on the skull. This is going to just fall apart. There we go, that's it. That's what we're working on, guys. That is it. Got it. Okay. It's an idiot error. Getting secondhand anxiety from Lewis. Sorry, Yuri. I'll clean it up, man. Don't mean to dump on you guys. We're good. It's all good. It is. It would be awesome. Was specifically having issues. The program you use to get your phone camera on OBS. Yes. That's it. The skull's looking fantastic. Thank you, Pete. So what happens is, it works 90% of the time. It works, and it's fine. It's essentially what it is Epic Cam, and which it takes the Epic Cam app from the phone. So the app on the phone, you turn that on, and then there's a plugin that goes into the computer that functions with OBS. And sometimes it just goes blank on OBS. And sometimes when you turn the app on your phone, it doesn't work from the phone side. Now, I don't know if it's just a computer error, if the phone is just saying that the computer's not registering. I don't know. But what happened today was I turned it on, the phone one activated, so it came on. But then what happened was the OBS side, it was blank. There was no, y'all saw that little black box. And normally what there are those 3 or 4 blue dots that dance around when it's just waiting for the connection, right? It's waiting for the feed from the phone. You didn't even have that, but you got that later. But when I got that later after restarting the program, then the phone app wouldn't start. So I think it's just messing with me. I think it's just trying to piss me off. Technically, I think that's what's happening. And I was set, I was on time, and then that started happening, and I just said, you know what? What the hell? But I cannot, you know what? I'm not going to let that get to me anymore. What's done is done. What's done is done. And time to freaking paint a skull. So, like I said before, kind of in a rut with painting, at least with this painting. The other one I'm actually doing quite nice. But this one, having a little bit of trouble. But you know what? That's a good thing, because it forces me to break out and to try to do various things to get out of that rut, and in doing so I actually improve. This always happens. You just have to stick with it. I think with ruts, oftentimes people take breaks too often. Oh, I'm in a rut, let's just come back to it. I think you need to fight through it 90% of the time, probably 95%. It's just how it is, because painting's hard. Oftentimes I'm in a rut because technically I'm being lazy in some area. And sometimes it's hard to know what area that is. It's just the case. So, yeah. Are you feeling better, Yuri? Maybe we get Laura on, and Laura has a very soothing voice. A very pleasant voice. And then she makes everybody feel better. I think that's what we need to do. Laura, where are you? Are you there, Laura? Alright. Here's what we're going to do. As we all know, I didn't paint that well last time. So, what I'm going to do, first off, I'm going to find my palette knife. Which I have this place incredibly organized. Where is the small palette knife? Small palette knife. I saw it here. I could use my big palette knife too, it doesn't matter. For the small, I can get more easier access with it. Just making sure everything. Laura. Laura dreams, smiles. Yes, I love Laura's voice. Laura! Hop in Discord and talk with me. I want to talk to you. And I want to paint. I need to hear your voice right now. Yeah, maybe I should clean this. I actually did organize this some. Not good enough. Not good enough. Screw it. This doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Aha! This is what I want. Cool. And so, Pete, I was thinking about your comment about just blocking the teeth in. Something this size, though, I mean, this is, you know, about 6 or 7 inches. You don't want to just block it in. It's just going to look weird. Like, if it's smaller, yeah. Sure. Is that Laura?
Hey.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, everybody.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. What are you up to?
I'm good. That skull is really looking so good.
Thank you. Yeah. taking some of the. So the reason why I'm like I could paint over this here, but like I said, when you paint over like brush strokes that are kind of thick, sometimes unless you're painting really thick over that and that's just the look you want, it doesn't always look that great. So I'm just gonna kind of take down some of the areas which I'm gonna paint over anyway. Scrape it down just a little bit. So you still have the value there, but it makes sense, especially in the darks, to do this. Go on.
So that paint is already dry?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fast.
Yeah, it is fast, isn't it? It's more in the lights, like the darks, kind of take a longer time. Just enjoying your cold. Oh, thank you, Laura. I have a cold pack to my face right now. What happened? Heading to the dentist? What'd you do?
Just stupid dentist stuff. Nobody needs to know. Needless to say, an old root canal is acting up. It's been, I think, I've been warned a year ago that I had some sort of dormant inflammation at the root, but it never bothered me, so I never did anything. So now I went for something else. I got anesthesia, and after that, it started really hurting. So
oh no,
I gotta go and get that dealt with.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Are you going today?
I have one at 1.
At 1 o'clock. Jeez.
Hey, Vanshika.
Vanshika's here. Hey. Vanshika missed my mini meltdown earlier. This is good. I'm glad. I assume.
I'm a little sad that I didn't get to sign up for your class. I really wanted to join, and then
I'll have more. And what I'm gonna do is, like, I had it all week, but I was talking to Clara, and I kind of got the idea beforehand too. That I should not do the whole week because it's so hard for everybody, like anybody. I couldn't do this to do like a whole week class, really. I mean, I'm doing it, but I planned obviously for it.
If it's like a select day in a week and you do several weeks, I think it'd be easy for everyone actually when you.
Exactly. That's what.
Because I have the class every Wednesday, so I won't be able to join Wednesday, and I forgot. And I'm like, oh, sad.
I know.
Because I don't wanna take your class.
Well, so what I'm gonna do, I might do it on a Saturday morning or something, like maybe around 11 or 12, and just kind of go from there. Like maybe 3 consecutive Saturdays or something. I don't know. 3 or 5. Do y'all know who John Stevens is by any chance?
Nope.
John Stevens. Okay, so John Stevens is a very, very good calligrapher. He actually works literally right next to me, and so he gives me advice, and his advice is excellent and stuff. And so he's helping me like kind of decide, the classes and stuff, kind of.
What is he?
He does calligraphy. It's like he doesn't like it being called calligraphy. It's like very fancy way of writing. It's very artistic. It's a very artistic way of writing.
Yeah.
Calligraphy
is cool. I would like to learn more calligraphy. My handwriting's god awful.
I mean,
so much.
Yeah, right.
Exercise and discipline and.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So like, he's really good. I think it's like, if you look up John Stevens on Instagram, he's very good. Nice guy and stuff, and he's literally, it's so weird because, we have Scott and Sue Burdick downstairs, and then John Stevens is right next door to me. So I have good people that I can ask questions about, and that's one of the things. And he confirmed. He says, yeah, you don't want to do a full week. He says, he looked at my sightings. He says, that's the one thing I would say is don't do the full week. You just want to split it up, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do that. I don't care. I just need to know because I do stupid stuff like that because it's not my area of expertise, marketing, right? I don't know. Or setting up the classes. I've done classes. I know how to teach classes. But as far as the setup is concerned, that's something I'm learning. And that's okay. That's okay.
Yep.
It takes a little bit of time.
We're all learning something.
Hopefully, yes. I'm sorry you have your little tooth thing, Laura.
There's always something, right?
Yeah. There's
It's
always
okay.
something.
I'm at the point where I don't really care about these little setbacks or whatever they are. I'm like, just rolling with the punches.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, right? So Pete says that some ateliers are actually teaching calligraphy now, which I think is actually a good move.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is. Yeah. Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
So, yeah, so the class was fun last night, and I'm glad because we had, Scappa 105, who's Steven, is his name. And then I actually have a student here in town, Brian, who's a very nice guy, and he's starting to, he's getting the concepts a little bit more because I've been working with him. And but it was nice because, I'm not great on Zoom. I mean, I don't really know all the details of Zoom. So anytime there was a technical issue, which it actually ran pretty smooth last night, but I wasn't afraid because, of course, Clara and Steven are going to have more patience with me than somebody I don't know. And so it was a very good learning experience. I mean, there's only 4 people in the class, but that's okay. It gives me a chance to work out all these bugs. And one thing I don't understand do you know anything about Zoom, Laura?
No, I'm really crappy with Zoom.
Yeah. So, like, one thing I don't understand is when you record and you record from Zoom, it actually, like, slows down the stream a little bit. So it's like, there's a 3-second delay with it. But when you stop recording, it kind of, that goes away. And it wasn't annoying to me as much as it was to Clara and Steven, who had to deal with it. I don't know how it was exactly on their end, but I'm trying to figure that out because, I could record from OBS, which is kind of what I'm streaming through OBS to Zoom, that plugin. And I have to do that because of the camera setups. I can't do the camera setup that I want in just regular Zoom, if that makes sense. So I have to use OBS, and it's fine except when. So I'm thinking, well, what if I recorded from OBS? But the problem with that is it will only record my screen. It won't record the Zoom screen because OBS is simply feeding my screen over to Zoom, and then Zoom has its own layout. So OBS would not pick that up unless I did a screen capture. But then if I screen captured that, it would screw up, I think, everything, like everything else. It's complicated. So that's the one thing that I'm having issues with. So I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe I don't record it. But then some people are like, well, if you take a Zoom class, you have to record it. So I don't know. I don't know proper Zoom etiquette is my point.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that if you record it, then I might be able to even miss a class, and then I can go back and watch it.
And that's
so
what
I
I'm trying
think
to
having the recording is really would be valuable to some people.
Definitely. I think you're right. For once in your life, Laura, I think you might be correct, maybe. You know why this stream is so peaceful?
Why is that?
Queldar isn't here.
Oh my god.
Wonder how he's doing.
I think he's one of the most peaceful people that I don't know personally, but I know. He's so
He's put together.
quiet and hmm?
He's put together. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grounded.
Yeah. Nobody here repeat that I said that though. He can never know.
Yeah, he'll totally not watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he's just watching and not commenting and just, let's see what Lewis is saying about it.
It's a different strategy there. It's coming along. Whew. I tell you, I enjoy teaching. I like it, and I honestly, I was thinking about this. I was really happy last night when I got home because one of the women in the class, Allison, she was just she was really trying to get it, and really sweet woman. And this stuff, like I'm telling you, I keep on saying it takes time and just consistency, and you can get it in like a year, but you need to practice it like consistently. It's just one of those things. But it's fun when you see people getting it, because I remember how it was with me, and I made every mistake. I mean, every mistake you could possibly make, I made it. Every single thing, every stupid thing, and I'm looking at something stupid right now that I've done. Oh my gosh. It's clear. Anyway, every mistake that I've made, like I learned how to get through it with the help of my teachers, and so it's fun seeing people get over that as well, right? It's fun seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you deal as a teacher? How do you deal with people with extreme, like self-negativity, and that just won't? They always are so self-criticizing and saying, "Oh, mine is the worst," or looking at other students' art. Because
Yeah.
in the class you get more advanced or more intuitive, I should say, and less intuitive, and those less intuitive, they shoot themselves in the foot by
Yeah.
always thinking and thus not going with the flow, which impedes them from doing what they could do. So how do you deal with those people who always say, "Oh, I'm terrible at this"? When I hear that, I'm like, you're my student, and nobody says anything about my student, because I'll kick their butts, especially you.
That's
You will not
that's a
say.
good way of handling it.
And I only started saying that in like the second or third class because I didn't want to
Oh, yeah.
scare them in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. That's a very good question. I mean, I guess I would use different strategies. Like one of them, I might compete, saying, "No, I'm the worst," and just getting in competition with them. But sometimes that loosens it up, and people are like, "Yeah, this is ridiculous." But I just say, "Look," and I give them an example of like a drawing I did. I've probably said this to you guys. Like I did one drawing that it's funny, like thinking back, it was a portrait drawing of this man who said he would pose nude only for women. It's really funny. But my friend Andrea Fauci, who's a very good painter herself, and she was just doing awesome. She was just doing really good. I'm going to bring these teeth up a little bit because this distance is like too big. I just saw that, which is ridiculous that I just saw this. And this comes up some too, like a little bit. So this guy is like, he was a good model. She wanted him because he had very good form in his bald head. It had like, she's like, "Look at that form. It's amazing, bro." I was like, "All right, fine." But it says nude only for women. Are you sure? We might be opening something up here. She was one of the, like, I was good friends with her in Italy, but she would always be doing, like, she was so naive, and she'd always get herself in trouble. She'd walk down a dark alley in the middle of the night by herself, thinking, "Oh, it's fine, we're in Italy," but there was like syringes everywhere, and not all. I was like, "You're a dumbass." So anyway, so she is doing a really, really amazing painting. I mean, an amazing painting of this guy. And I'm doing the worst drawing ever. It was 2 months into it, and it was still just blocked in. I was like, I think I'm retarded. I cannot think. I think I am stupid. Like, I was the most negative person. I was just bashing myself. All this, and like, I was just going off. And I think at one point I threw the drawing in the trash. Like, I took it off the easel and said I can't do this. And I was so frustrated and discouraged. And I was, I'm like 20 years old at the time, thinking to myself, I suck. I'm over here in a different country doing this stuff. I'm worthless. I can't do, like, these were the thoughts I'm going through in my head. It was in the second year of painting when all my friends were painting, or second year at the academy when all my friends were painting and I was still drawing. You're supposed to paint after a year, right? And it was just, I was having a hard time, and Andrea finally took me aside and said, look, at some point you have to just look at it just rationally and technically. It's frustrating, it can be frustrating, but you're doing something wrong technically. I was like, oh, but I can't see it, blah, 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 crying. Wasn't crying, but you know what I'm saying. And she's like, look, there's a technical reason as to why you're doing this. Is it the shadow shapes? If it is, reunify them. If it's the light shapes, reunify, simplify, go back to the basics, and then go from there. She was giving me this technical, she says, you just have to get the motion out of it. So I went back, I let go. And it turned out to be one of the better drawings that I did. And I came through that. And so that to me, that took time. And that was after pretty much 2 years of being at an academy that I was being taught by really, really awesome artists. I had everything at my disposal, and I sucked. So whoever is in the class saying they suck, good. Learn from it and get over it, because you can do it, and the fact that you're still doing it means you haven't given up. So I would go from, I don't know, it depends on the person, but I might do something like that, and I might make it worse for them. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's kind of one of the things. But I'm telling you, man, it's not easy. It's not easy. Okay, all the Zoom class I have had, you generally get the recording. Yeah, exactly. Look, here's the thing. I could do the recording. But having a conversation with people, now, when it gets to like, say there was like 50 people in the class, I'd have to say, look, everybody put yourselves on mute, and we'll go from there. And if you want to ask a question, maybe type it out, or you can ask a question or whatever. You're going to have to deal with that 3-second delay if people want the recording. That's just how it is. Unless I can find a solution for it. Zoom class was cool, but I wish I could go in person. North Carolina is just too far for me. Where are you, Claire? You're in Atlanta, aren't you? You're in Atlanta. Yeah, North Carolina is too far. Maybe, you know what? I mean, Lisa's down there. Maybe I do a class down there one of these days. Lisa, where are you, Lisa? Where are you when we need you? We haven't seen her in a while. So how else do you deal with it? Like, how would you deal with it, Laura? Like, negativity and stuff. Just encourage them, but...
Mm-hmm. Well, I say that... What number is this class? Is this your second time ever painting? Right. Mine looked, I say how mine used to look, and...
yeah.
Stuff takes time. I just started teaching too. I'm just learning how to
takes time.
teach. So they're actually teaching me how to teach, and I'm teaching them whatever I know. And I'm like, oh my god.
I bet
it's so intimidating. Teaching is so not easy.
Yeah, it can be hard.
Like, painting is easier than teaching, really.
Think so?
Yeah, I do.
I wish I agreed with that. I really do. Not to say that teaching's easy, but I think painting's so hard. I just think it is so hard.
I mean, it depends how you deal with people and such.
That's true. Well, here's
extrovert you are.
It also depends on who you have. I've had people in class that have been very hard people to deal with. Like one lady, she really just wanted to keep on insulting me, and you know, and I spent more time with her trying to help her in her drawing than anybody else in the class, to the point where I had one of the people complaining about it, even without attention. And then I saw this woman about a couple of months later, and she was taking another course, and she was saying how much better it is than mine to my face. And I was like, all right, well, I'm glad you enjoy it. You know, I was just trying to be nice. And
Good riddance.
Yeah, I mean, here's the way that I look at that is that she was upset because I was critiquing her work and saying something was off with it, and it was, because she wanted to be praised. And I do praise people. I say, hey, this is really good. I think that's a way to do it too. Like, somebody might be looking at their art and they're saying, oh, this is horrible. And I go through and say, no, look at this. Look at this. This is hard to do. People don't, like, you know, really. And I see that stuff. Like I was telling Claire, I don't just say this. I couldn't really see her work that well on her webcam last night, but she sent me her work afterwards, and there were all these things, and I was like, this has a lot of potential. When I say this, I mean her, like, her path of learning. Like, she has the potential, like, really to do some amazing stuff. If
right, and like,
yeah,
like you said, there's most of the time there's something good to compliment about a piece, you know, and it's good to just focus on that, and then kind of do the sandwich technique, you know, when you compliment, wow, I really like how you did this color, and or you know, the brush strokes, or you got the consistency or something, and then you'd say, maybe do that a little bit. Doing really great, you know, like starting with the positive, sneaking some sort of improvement, and then ending with a positive too, so they can keep going. And you know, for some people it works, and some people only hear the criticism, and there's absolutely nothing a person can do. There's always going to be the people who self-criticize, and nobody can lift them up because they keep shooting themselves in the foot, you know.
This is true. This is true. So yeah, I agree with that. I agree. I mean, here's the thing. Painting is difficult. It's hard, but like the mindset sometimes is what really screws me over, and or people in general. It's everybody. Like, it's something you really have to fight. It's kind of like this. I'm sure you have. Everybody has, but you know, like you're in like a say something happens in life and you're just like pissed off and everything's over and you're just like, you know what, screw this, and you're also very tired. But then you go and like you think, you know, oh, everything's over and this and that, like end of the day or something. You go home and you go to bed, and then you wake up in the morning, you're like, wasn't that bad? So mentality is such a huge thing. It really is. It's, you know, it's so it's kind of like the people who never try because they know they're not going to succeed. You know, like Sean says, it's 100% chance of failure right there. That's really why people fail, is they don't even try because they convince themselves they can't do it. And it's the same with painting. It really is the same with painting. It's the same concept. You know, and like you have to look at it realistically, but you can't get discouraged if you're like, oh, mine looks bad. Fine, it looks bad. You know what? There's stuff that I'm doing that makes it look pretty bad right now too, I think. There is. But I say to myself, you know, I've been here before and it's just a technical thing and it's because I'm doing A, B, C, D wrong or something. Well, fine. Take it as opportunity to get better at it, to learn. That's what I have to do if I'm going to do this. That's the type of mentality you have to have going into it. You have to look at it very practically and rationally. So Pete's been funny. He says everybody should be on mute. He says you don't smack them around, and he says you don't smack them around and tell them shut it, you whiny baby. That's what you say to them. You just suck it up, basically. And Clara. I always deal with critique like that by saying a passive aggressive comment like, everyone has their own method to learn that works best for them, but this is how I learned that works for me. People shouldn't definitively tell you that your teaching method sucks. Part of learning is also being a good student. Sounds like she was a bad student. Patience is everything on both sides. That's why I only draw. Says Pete. Pete, yeah, I haven't seen any paintings of yours actually, but yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think when she said that to me, it bothered me maybe for a minute, and I was more of just like wanting to just smack her across her,
Good.
Just smack her. Frankly, just smack her because that's just which I would never do. I'm just saying she was being a jerk. And you know what? But then I said to myself, well, she's a jerk. Why am I going to let her make me feel a certain way? And that's kind of what I did. So I just kind of let it go after that. And, and here's the other thing. It's not, when I teach stuff, it bothers me that people exist. So, when I teach, it's what I was taught. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not taking credit for it. So if they don't want to take advantage of something that I went overseas to learn, like it's essentially somebody else's teaching method. If they don't want to do that because it's personal and they're mad at me for knowing it and they don't, well, they can insult me all day long, but at the end of the day, I know how to do it and they don't. And if that's where they want to, if they want to pay the money for it, come out and then just all they get out of it is being pissed off and then they pull cheap shots on me. That's so stupid. Like, where's that going to get you? Huh? I'll be fine. And I don't wish that upon her. I don't wish that she never gets it. I want her to be good. It's like I wanted her to be good more than she wanted to be good, right? And so you do what you can. But if they're going to cheap shot you, I'm not going to deal with it because I know how to do this stuff already. And if she doesn't have the patience to do it, you can't, or the temperament rather, to be able to take a critique. That's something is going to hold her back in her work. And that's unfortunate because she has potential. She has potential and she is a decent artist, right? She is decent. But,
Hey, you gotta vibe with the person, If she didn't vibe with you, it's fine,
Oh,
You can't force people to like you. And maybe it was something beyond just the teaching technique. Maybe she was in a certain state, you can't really. People's opinions and people's actions and reactions are none of my business. So, of course, I can look back and think, did I do something to incite this? And if I think that I acted like I would normally act, then, it's not a matter of me. Whatever. People are people.
Like, that's my point. I'm not bothered by it. I'm only bothered by it insofar as she's wasting her potential. Because
that's not your business.
Well, but here's the thing. I think I make it my business to a degree. It's not my business how they go about things as much. But one of the things that, and I'm not just like, I really want people to know this stuff. I really want to see them happy and doing well with this. Like, look, when, for example, like I'm a better teacher when I care about like how people are doing with this stuff. And so when you teach somebody for a week and it was a week class, I get invested with it and I'm like, wow, I really hope this person, I hope they get it. I hope they listen, and I'm not saying it keeps me up at night. Okay. I'm not saying I'm obsessed, but I'm saying that's how I care. I don't like seeing people waste their potential. And if I stop caring about that and say, whatever, for me, I'm not as good of a teacher like that. I don't do as well. Like I always do better when I'm, a little bit invested in the person. It's just how that's only with me. People are different. 'Cause I want to see
Yeah,
them doing.
people have to be as invested as you are, and you can't force that.
Definitely, you can't force it. Or can you, Laura?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Who's got the energy for that? I only have enough energy to invest in my own actions.
I hear you there. I
Is
hear
that
you on.
is that selfish? I don't think there's any other way
No,
to live than selfishly like this.
I don't think that's selfish at all.
Right.
It's not selfish.
No, it's not, because if you don't care enough about your own feelings and actions, then you can't really do anything about anybody else's.
Well, look, I mean, I handled it well. All I did, I flicked her off, and as I walked away, I pulled my pants down and started smacking my ass. And then I walked away, but
And
I
then
did
you
say
rolled over her with your car a couple times.
that was after.
In the dark, when no one was looking.
Yeah. And Clara says, yeah, it's not your business to succeed in the way you want, but you naturally do because you care, and it's something you are passionate about. I remember how it was for me. I know how frustrating it is, and I like seeing people get it, and I like seeing their work improve. I just do. I do want them to be like better painters than me. It's just because it's weird. I just want that. I kind of I don't know. It's one of my things. I want people to get it.
Yeah.
I've been around people who are.
I know, Lois.
Yeah,
You're very philanthropic.
I don't even know what that means.
Philanthropic,
Yeah.
Lover of people, as opposed to misanthropic. Misanthropic.
Uh-huh.
A hater of people. Not a hater per se, just a little cynical. No.
I'm actually a little cynical too. I am. Trust me.
Yeah, but
What?
deep inside, you're very, very benevolent and loving and nurturing. And that's good. That's a good thing.
True, but it's also a little bit of my downfall. I can
Right,
tell you
for
stuff
sure.
because you trust in people and then they stab you in the back. And then I'm
Right.
pissed off, but then I go back to it. But
Yeah.
it's you know what? Then you get over it. And then you go through it again.
You know what it is?
What?
Everybody does what's in their own nature. So
Yeah.
whatever somebody does, they do because that's how they behave and act in the world.
Yeah.
So you do you, you do your good deeds and hope that everybody can benefit from it. And everybody does whatever they think that is good, I believe. Sometimes it's stupid and sometimes it's mean, but they may think in the moment that it's good. Everybody's
Laura
only
is
so
wise.
much enlightened,
Yeah.
I am working there. I think I'm old, but I'll take wise.
You are wise.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That's good.
It's got, has got so much depth and body. So body.
Yeah, it's starting to come along. It's just not how I want it.
Colors.
It's like I'm taking longer on this than I thought I would ever take on it. It's kind of ridiculous.
No, I don't think that's why, Clara.
What'd she say?
We all miss Quildarius, I'm sure. Today's stream is too wise and wholesome. Is it because Quildarius is missing? I'm sure that's not the reason.
This isn't the cloth we're cut from. None of us were weird and goofy. I'm sorry that Epic Cam put me in this mood. I honestly, if the Epic Cam, if I could like form it into a person, I would punch it in its face. And I would feel so much better. One punch.
Unfortunate technology, if you do that, then you can't really work with it in the future.
If I punch it in the face?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes punching people in the face is what they need, Laura.
Yeah, it's true, true.
You know?
Oh.
I actually kind of believe that. I'm not advocating violence, YouTube. Okay? I'm not.
We're sore.
But I'm just saying a fact. Violence is not the answer. The skull. That's too light. Let's put this lightens up just a little bit. It kind of glows on the side. Put a little glow. Glow. There you go, glow skull. Yes.
Pete says I could get into the Discord. That would change the whole thing. Lol.
Lol.
Lol. Well, I'll tell you what. I gotta get ready for this ordeal today, so I'm gonna let you go. But it was really nice talking to you.
You too, Laura.
And yeah,
Thanks for
I'll see
calming
you
us all
on
down.
Thursday, hopefully.
Definitely. Definitely. Hey, good luck with your with the dentist today. Sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, you know, it happens. We have a body, and sometimes this body doesn't really cooperate the way you want it to.
You're so wise.
It's all right. All right. Bye, Clara. Bye, Pete. Bye, Louis.
Laura, when are you streaming? Did you?
I hope on Friday. Let me check if I have something this Friday, but I should be good.
Because you streamed, I think, on Thursday last time, didn't you?
I streamed on Wednesday because on Friday I went and painted a mural with somebody.
Oh,
so I wasn't home.
I gotcha. Okay, because I got faked out. I saw that. I was like, dang it.
Yeah, I wouldn't stream on the same day you stream, Louis. That would not be good.
we could have a stream off. Who came to my stream?
All right, bye guys. I'll see you all on Thursday.
Bye,
okay?
Laura. See ya.
Bye.
Laura's so cool. Claire, you want to hop in? Keep me company? Just bringing some light up. I don't want to make this too light because I like the skull kind of being dark here. Trying to give it some form, but I really don't want to make it too light. Darkens up just a little bit. All right, Thursday. Okay, I'm gonna make sure you do. Right, let's mix some cobweb. Go back and forth with the cobweb. The cobweb needs to develop a little bit more than it is, doesn't it? And bring that out some. All right, cobweb. Should not have put my greens out yet. Working on another painting. I'm using green for it, but it's taking up a lot of space. So what I'm going to do is rearrange that on my pad. The greens down here for now, momentarily. There we go. See, I like painting this stuff, and you know what? I know it's a Halloween still life. I wanted this for a Halloween video, but I'll do it for next year's. It'll be nice, and then... See, I love painting stuff like this. I like doing still lives too. This isn't a commission. It's not a commission. But sometimes I like doing stuff for myself. This is good for the stream, I think. It's a good painting to do on stream. This. I need a little bit more oil in a second. So the cobwebs have a slight, let's say, purplish look to it. It's a little bit cooler. What's this? That's weird. What is... So I'm essentially mixing kind of a gray and making it slightly purplish. That is the goal. Something a little bit cooler. I'm going to mix maybe one or two values of it, kind of a darker one and a lighter one. Just put purple into it. That did it. There we go. Light here. It's a little bit more purpley slash bluish. There we go. Pretty good. We go into it. I'm just going to use my skull brushes for this too, just switch between them because they're so small I can easily wipe them off. Paint off, go back into it. I'm going like across the form there because sometimes if you flow with it, it looks kind of generic. That's not what you want. You don't want it. It's not good. So I'm going across the form. There we go. Kind of squint down. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put some darker paint around it too because that's standing out way too much. When I put the darker paint in, it'll kind of blend it in just a little bit, which is nice. It's the same brush, get a slightly darker shade. Purple it up just a little bit. Go back. good to do pieces for yourself. Yes, yes, it is. It really is. It's good. Fix that drawing. Cordarius, Maximus, Meridius, Decimus. Hey man, how's it going? Doing alright? Let's shade this a little bit darker this time. Just a little bit. From St. Clara, that's pretty funny. It's the consequence of having a live chat. What happened? I missed it. You have to tell me before he gets back. Sounds like some juicy drama happened. Some juicy drama. I just said that the chat was too wise and wholesome and might have something to do with certain people. Oh yeah, that. This needs to be darker slightly. All right, I'll make a darker value. I'm not gonna put any white into this one though. Darker value, check. No white, check. Let's add black. It's black. More black. More blue. There we go. Black and more blue. Black and more blue. The piece needs more hole. I agree with you, Quasar. I agree. It does need more hole. Yes, yes. You are correct, sir. You are correct. Stupid frickin' paper towel, fold! Thank you. Does what I want. Kind of. Don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Everything, like my computer, everything froze on it. You know what? You know what? Might as well try. Might as well try. And everything reset. That's okay. Sorry, guys. Not gonna let that get to me. Not this time. It's not gonna get the better of me. An overload of energy. Let me switch the cam out again. For some reason it reset everything. Cam, Epic Cam. Let's go to the integrated webcam. And that's it, done. And for some reason this thing is huge again. Fix it. Bring this up. Yeah. It just cut out. It just crashed. The whole thing did. Had to restart it. Am I gonna let that get to me? No. Not. There we go. It has a viewer limit of 5. That's right, I'm in danger. Alright. Let's get back to the cobwebs. Back to the cobwebs. I'm glad you guys wrote something because I wouldn't have seen it for a second. Back to the cobwebs. Back to the cobwebs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Back to the cobwebs. Bit too light. This is stream veteran. Yeah, I'm stream veteran. That's right. 5th person breaking the stream. So GameSaw streakiness. Any advice? What is GameSaw again? What is it exactly? Is that the medium you paint with? Actually tried streaming on Twitch and it was really hard. I didn't know what to say after a certain amount of time. What I ended up doing is just wiping it down every time. I don't know how you keep up with it. It's harder than it looks. Are you talking about the streaming, Clara? Or are you... And the GameSaw, I could look that up. Like colorless, odorless spirits. The solvent, odorless spirits. You're using too much. You're definitely just using too much. Something just happened. Something just shut down. I mean, what is with today? There, come on, come back. I mean, like, all of a sudden, everything technically is breaking down on me. I don't know. I don't know. everything that has gone, whatever. It's haunted. Yeah, I know the camera's off. I heard a noise and then I was like, don't tell me. Give me a second. I'll get it back. Oh my gosh. EOS just, the program just shut down. I know what happened. EOS. Come on back. This is funny. You're using too much, man. That's what it is. You gotta limit it. Just use just enough. You want to use maybe like 15% in, which is just a tip. It honestly, it depends on how thick the paint is and what type of paint you're using. Restart your computer, actually fully unplug it, and give it a hug. It must. I'm not gonna hug this little. Come on, EOS. I just restarted you. This is it. Open. Connect a camera. Oh wait, maybe this thing came out. why'd it go off? It's just like, it decides to go off. There we go. It's just an amazing day. It's really funny. Let me get a better angle for y'all. Bring this back some and bring it out here. There is... It's this one. Nope. I'll have the video back in 1 second. Actually, trying to get a better shot for y'all. So it was kind of to the side. I want it more straight on. This should do it. This should be a little bit better of a shot for you. Make it a little bit more straight. Maybe if I make it tip in, bring it back, but then have it. No, that's not smart. Not smart. Right here, and then tip it. I'll stay unless I hit it. Okay, that's a little bit more straight on. I think that's a little bit less perspective warp there for you. Turn it upright. So there's the face right there. Look at that bad boy. And we're working on, kind of working all around. Let me back this up some. Shucks. Right here. And then bring this down. And then I'm going to turn the camera. Okay. That way you can see the whole thing. And it's more straight on. There you go. There you go. That's what I want. Alright, so if this falls, it shouldn't fall. Okay. That's what we got. Let me take this opportunity to put a little more walnut oil in the palette cup. Just a touch. Boom shakalaka. Gosh, that thing's gonna fall. I know it's gonna fall. And then I'm gonna be pissed if it falls. And then I'm gonna blame the camera if it falls. But yet I know it's gonna fall. Halloween. So stop. Stop visiting obscure Russian sites. I need to do my last Proko challenge. And then I'm taking a break from this ink drawing. I need color. Yeah. What is it? The prompt is Skelly, which is the Proko posable skeleton app. There's a skeleton illustration I've been meaning to do for a while now. That will be really fun to draw and should turn out cool. I will use that. I haven't posted things in a couple days, and that's not good, but whatever. I haven't been posting good stuff. I need to regroup. There we go. close. Oh. There's a little art behind stepping back now. I have created for myself a little obstacle course. It makes me better at painting. Not really, but I'll keep telling myself that. Back-to-back challenges. Keeping up with the comments and shares is more time consuming than daily drawing. Honestly, I miss being a completely anonymous dude on Instagram. Nobody sees or cares about your work is great. There is a piece to that. I do like that. And so as I bring the cobwebs out a little bit, I need to tie the skull in underneath to it. You have to be mindful of it. To connect everything, make sure there's a proper flow of light, otherwise it's going to look broken up. It's not going to make sense after a while of looking at it. So what we make it make sense. What am I talking about? This part right here needs light needs to come up just a little bit. Tie it in ever so slightly. You don't want to lose a form underneath. There we go. And bring it up just a little bit, make it less red. Not too much. Let's go across the form this time. Down. Pull, 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 pull. Go back to the web. Drop it down. Step back. Looks a little bit better, but I need to fix something. I'm going to take another brush. Go value darker. Work in the back part of the skull, kind of receding behind the web. Right side. At the very top, there's a little sliver of light that goes down. Implies form. Put that in. It's going to be darker, though, however, than this area. Make sure I'm not blocking this. Almost blocked it. Watch that shadow, okay. Across the form, squint. Drag the paint just a little bit. Ever so slightly, just touching, just tickling the canvas with the brush. Just let the canvas know that your brush cares. Yes. A little bit lighter at the top. Some of this color up into this because it's kind of shining through. Step back. Might flirt with the idea of making the back of the skull a little bit lighter. Add a little bit of yellow ochre. Squint. Walk up. Make sure my shadow's out of the way. Make sure the shoulder's out of the way. Ever so slightly, we're just going across the form, across it. We're not flowing with it yet, but we're going across it. So I made a slight shift, one that my eye can barely see from up close. Let's see how it looks from the back. That's good. That's pretty good. How's the form look? It needs to come up a little bit right here. I'm going to use the same value since it's dark. It might recede a little bit. Actually, it's a little bit lighter than I want, but I'm going to put it just below. Just below, right there. Kind of pull it down some. Just below. And then I'm going to get a darker value. Actually shape the skull up top, fix the drawing. But before I do, I'm going to go back and hit the leg of the camera. Step back. Deduce that there needs to be a slight shift. Skull. Go back into the background. Perhaps hole would be good for this. hole. First off, yeah, that last sentence, Clara, is I actually, when I first started doing YouTube, so many years ago, I'm a veteran now, but so many years ago, I found myself, and I've talked about this, I found myself falling into that trap. What's gonna make people happy? What's gonna get the views? And constantly have to watch out for that. So you're becoming fake, you don't like that person that you become, you look in the mirror, and you don't recognize who you are anymore. You don't recognize. Let's see what's happening. So we're going to drop the spider web a little bit. Just drops slightly. That just drops a little bit. Maybe not even that much. Let's get hole. I'm going to get a clean brush for it. Of the same ilk. I've missed you, hole. Alright. This drops down just a little bit from the top. Fix that. Comes down just slightly. So I might have to go back and forth on this one. Okay, let me see how that looks from a distance. It's not. Nope. Perhaps bring this down just a smidgen. Ah! Kind of okay, but it's just flat because there's no transitional value from the skull to the background. So I'm going to mix a dark mid-tone, but it's going to be kind of on the lighter side of the dark mid-tone value range. I'm going to make it slightly warmer for that field color of the skull. And I'm going to attempt to place it where it does not really change the illusion of the drawing. It's just going to help the skull recede into the background. That is the goal. And it's going to be one brush stroke, presumably. Hopefully. Cross your fingers! this. I'm going to drop down below the camera because I need to get this angle here. This is how I'm going to do it. This is dry. Get really close here, and let's start down here. Since okay, is that good? Paint, get more fresh paint. I'm going to warm it up just a little bit. Scoop. I've scooped too much, but let's see if this is. Start here. Yeah, that's too much. So I'll just get it off on this one right here. So we gotta make it slightly darker. This value should be it between the two. Sorry, I could show you guys my palette. I need to come up with a better system for it. Palette cam or something. I can do that. Have the webcam there. Palette cam, I could have my phone. Do that. I've done that before, in fact. Just blend it just a little bit with the background. I think that's the way to do it. Yep. Can't breathe. Smooth. It's a little better. Did I mess the drawing up? Let's see. Yeah, the drawing's a little bit messed up. So to do that, I'm going to go back a little bit into the background, a little bit higher. Top protrude. See, I'm being very picky now, but this is educational still. This part comes up just slightly. Let's see if this fixes it. Let's see if that fixed it. Maybe a little bit, and then I'm going to take the same value that has a slight mixture of black in it. I'm going to shape this part and kind of bring it into the upper part of the skull just a little bit to imply that it's going up and around. Here, I'm going to take the same value. So there was this value. Where was it? It was going around the skull. No, it's further down. It's a dangerous move. So let's take Alizarin Crimson, darken this value, skull value, field color, probably around the 80% darkness range. Ah! Get hooked on the table again. Walk up after recovering, being above the stupid nick on the table or whatever it is. And then I'm going to slowly just shape this out. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to soften that since this is wet paint. Soften. There we go. Skull curve of the skull. I don't know if I want it that sharp because I like this focal point that should recede. Let's see. Catch up on chat. And I really have to pee. The only one who supported me and watched my stream last week, by the way. Claire, you never say when it is. Wait, I think you just did down there. I saw something 6. Wait. Yeah, I saw digital art is incredible. I'm catching up 1 second. It's tempting to make art. Yeah, for sure. That's why I intentionally can't post horrible art. Yeah, it's a balance. You want to share things that are meaningful to people, but you don't want to get caught up in obsessing over it. Hey, Pete. Pete's back. Quildark 27. Your digital art is incredible. I agree, and he should be freaking posting it, and he should be doing time lapses at least on the channel. I also really like the inks. Yeah, your inks are really good too, man. I have to say, they're I like the hatching, the cross hatching, the directional work that you do. I really like the inks. I know you are learning, but it's more enjoyable to be a part of the process of learning. That's what you are sharing. Hey, Peter. Welcome back, Peter. Yo! Pete was the only one who supported me and watched my stream last week. LOL. Thanks, Clara. I do appreciate your comments. It was at 1 a.m. Give me a break. Yeah, for Quilldart it was. Which means it was at 7 o'clock. 6. It was at 6. Didn't you? You streamed at 6. Yes, rhetorical. Of shame jail. My stream is on Instagram with my art friends every Thursday night, usually around 7, which I'm still normally in here by then. We are, unless I'm out drinking, which normally I'm not. And when I say drinking, I mean having one beer maybe that I really don't like because I don't like that place I go to, but I go to it for socially. We are actually doing an artist interview. Who? OMG. Tell me more. Who? All right. Don't like the way the cobwebs are going across the face. Let's work on the eye socket just a little bit. Shall we? Yes. I'm going to put this in really light, and then I'm going to darken it just a little bit. Down there's another one coming across here. Yes. It's kind of frosted just a little bit. It's actually not looking bad. Actually works, huh? That was weird. That never happens. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I guess, like, you know, I can kind of mess with this. Turn it some and see what happens. There's that. Just have it kind of coming across down, because I have this built up enough underneath. It's kind of flowing. If I'm going to leave that technique or not. Might be a little bit much. When I squint down, it's not that apparent. Actually, I'm going to bring some over here too. You don't want to overdo this. I think I'm going to work that technique just a little bit. Let's go for our darker value in the cooler side of this the cobweb. What's this here? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of work this in just a little bit. I'm going to go back into it with. This is over modeled. Bring this back down. Fuzz that out some. That actually works okay. It's becoming a little bit too, let's say, realistic. Need hole. Is this hole or was this hole? Should be able to tell. Let's say this. It's going to be very dark here, but it's actually hole underneath. Let's take a bit of alizarin, crimson. Work this in just a little bit. Shape this out. Down, darken this. Just get a little bit more impressionistic with that. I don't like being overly realistic. Bring this down some. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a certain area kind of recede more than the others. It's the center part. So I'm going to the back. Points really press down with the brush, get a little bit darker here and there. It should work. Ah! This freaking desk. Okay, we're back. Don't panic. Don't panic. Soften. Recedes. Some hole into here. Hole. Right. Quick correction. Bridge of the nose. Kind of drops in just a little bit. It's a little bit light. Darken the value. unify this bottom area to the other side. That did it. Look to the other side of the nose. As I work that part of the nose, I'm going to go a little bit darker, probably around the 70% range, 65% range of darkness. I'm going to cool it off. This is the skull, field color, cool off, shape this side of the nose just ever so slightly. Shape, shape, shape. Bring that in. So there's the little pinch. Work it in with the paint that's a little bit wet. It's the cobwebs that's also a little bit cooler. There. And then this kind of comes down. I can kind of touch it there to unify this a little bit. You want to have a flow of light going down, which that was a little bit softer. Drawing, not great, but working down the teeth. Bring some light. It's about that high. But then it really proceeds right here. There we go, transition. That's a good transition. That works. Bottom part's a little bit broken up. The light area, the tooth, right above the tooth. Fix the light. Same brush. That's going off that way. It should be more straight up and down. Going across the form. Take, I would say, 40% value range. Unify the shadow, or rather the light shape right there. Bring it into the groove of the tooth just a little bit to make that turn slightly. Step back, that's looking a little bit better. Okay. I live in a world of shame jail. He said that, I read that. We are actually doing an artist interview. Actually, now I think about it, is at the same time as Lewis's class. Is it Scott Burdick? It's Queldar, isn't it? Hi. Did you guys see Randall's Day of the Dead painting? It's really good. I need to see it. Looking at it now, it's amazing. Claire, it's okay if you missed that class. It's your call. I'll help you out. If you're doing an artist interview, I'll help you out. Maybe I'll give you homework. I gave you quite a few reference photos, if I may say so myself. Take one of those reference photos and do a drawing, and I want to see straight lines with it. This is Thursday. We don't know your progress. You might do a really good job. This stuff takes time, Claire. Don't get discouraged. Don't freak out. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time. Let's work this. This might be too light. Okay. I might have blocked the camera. Watching it right now, and apparently I'm quite ahead of where I am on YouTube. Whatever. Nothing's going to faze me at this point. Darker brush. Nice hearty belch into the painting, and I'm going to work the transition here, the transitional edges. Ever so slightly work the transition. And I'm going to take the background because that's background is not wet. Take some whole. Let me go into the background right here. Shape. This, I'm going to lose the drawing probably a little bit. Definitely am. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is realize that I still need to shape it just a little bit here. And bring the background in more than it should. Okay, I'm cutting the skull off, but then I'm going to come back into it. The hole goes down there. There we go. Okay. uh, bring this down. There we go. Step back. Take a relatively dark brush, probably at the 65% value range. Bring on the black side. Bring this down. Work the shadow edge, transitional edge rather. All right, that's too light, so I'm going to bring it up top here. Okay. It's too dark, but I can still make that work. And then I'm going to bring this down since it darkened a little bit. I'm going to take it here, shape this. Into here, so I want this kind of to recede some. Just kind of doing. It needs to pop out a little bit more than I have it, so I'm going to take the same brush without wiping it off. Kind of bring this out, smooth it into the background, make it recede. All right, set the edge up for success. And I'm going to go into it with slightly lighter color. Make this pop. Going with the form, and now I'm going across the form. Now, take the same brush, which I kind of like. See, I want to make it soft and recede. I'm going to kind of come up on the skull, but I'm going to go this way with it. Ooh, okay. Couldn't breathe. Let me catch my breath. Okay, back. Now, let's go up just a little bit because this isn't making sense. This kind of goes like this. This goes over, but this needs to pop up just a little bit to make sense. It's a little bit better. See, I want it soft. Like if I look at it, it's going to be sharp, but I want it soft because it recedes. I want it to recede. I want this to pop. Like I could probably soften that part up top too if I probably should do that. same time as Liz. Is it Scott Burns? It's really good. Looking at it now, it's amazing. I love the skulls. What can I say? Randall, I need to check that out. There he is. Do you only tend to use brushes and palette knives with your piece, or do you sometimes use more unconventional tools to lay on paint? I'm assuming you're asking Randall that, which I'm curious about that too. It's about that time I start getting a little bit weird. Soften. Alright, missed the drawing up there. Get that back. So just curious in the more creative ways to lay down oil paints. Okay, tend to use brushes and palette knives with the piece, or do you sometimes use unconventional tools to lay on paint? That's a good question. Honestly, I think just brushes and palette knives for now. Yeah. Like I've used the back of a brush before, you know, the handle of it, but it doesn't always have the effect that you want. Yeah, I'm pretty straightforward. Hey, Jinshin. Hey, buddy. How's it going, man? Oh, guys, I have to... now that Jinshin's here, I do have to end the stream. I have a lot of stuff I have to get to. But thanks for watching, and I'll be back on Thursday. And Clara, I'll see you tonight. Guys, I'm sorry to leave right now. The second Jinshin got here. But I do have to run. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this. We got some good stuff done. And I really do appreciate y'all always being here. It's fun having you. And yeah, so that's the... There it is. It's very sunken in. You see, that's sinking in right there. That's what sinking in is. Y'all know this. All that stuff. All that. It's a pain. But that's what happens. There's the skull. Skull's looking better today, huh? Did a little bit better job on it. Starting to look, you know, we got the cobwebs reaching out, grabbing it, which is kind of cool, so. Alpay fuse a paint roller. Interesting, huh? Stops me from watching Lewis paint. Oh, that sucks, man. That sucks. Well, I'll be on Thursday. And we miss you here, Jinshin. So once a while, paint palette. Not very good with those. Gustave Courbet's paintings with knives are amazing. Yeah, I love knife paintings. All right, guys, I do have to end this. Sorry, I would keep on streaming, but I have to get to the other painting I'm working on, and among other things. So you guys take care, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye, guys.